Hello guys, it's Cuteness Medkits here. Today we are going to be doing a special video. So last week, on the 27th of February, Pokemon Sword and Shield were revealed for the Nintendo Switch. And since that's going to happen, I decided now would be the perfect time, other than last weekend, but something came up. Now would be the perfect time to state the things I want for Generation 8. So, we're just going to go ahead and get started. You're also going to sort of see me shiny hunt, because I don't have any other footage to provide. With the beautiful music in the background. Link stream playlist in the description of those. So, number one, we have better online service. So, the Let's Go online service is sort of lackluster, honestly. That's sort of being nice to it. The Let's Go online service is kind of bad. The problem with it is it's just very, how do you put it, linear, I'd say. Since I'm on Let's Go, I'm just going to go ahead and show it. So you have to keep in mind that we're paying for this online service. With Nintendo Switch Online, we have to either pay $20 a year, or we have to pay $3 a month. So, if you're going nearby player communication, you have the both nearby and far away. You can only link trade, first of all. Second of all, the single and double battles are pretty much the same. The only problem is there's no battle spot, there's no Wonder Trade, there's no GTS, which essentially means that you actually have to link with someone. And an example of how to get a battle, if I actually get a better team that isn't complete trash, and by that I mean just the problem is you have to actually link with someone because there's a specific code. For those of you who don't know, again, they've added a feature so that you have to have a code in order to battle. The people would trade codes, and this is how you would battle. Let's see if I can battle with my shiny choice. I'm gonna make this very quick. The problem is, and this also goes for trading. Trading, the problem I have with this is they've completely disregarded the Switch friend code system. Like, that exists. You didn't need to create your own little system. So, it's just bad. You have to type in a specific code, and so does your partner, and then you'd get access to play with each other. But if you really just want to do it on random, you could do that. I don't know if it's gonna work. See? It works. Just type in Pikachu, Pikachu, Pikachu. I guess that's your quote-unquote battle spot. Just the only problem is it doesn't fix the GTS and Wonder Trade. I liked those. The GTS could be used to do something really fun, honestly. Sorry, Wonder Trade could. I don't know who to send out first. Like, this is a test, so. You can get team previews anymore. I've never done a battle online, for those of you who don't know. I'm just gonna leave it Sparky. Actually, I think Nito's the most versatile, but you know, I don't care. This is all for testing. So, yeah. The problem is GTS and Wonder Trade are also gone. This is my party. This is like my team that I use in game, so if I get murdered, I don't care. And the GTS is really good for trying to complete the Pokedex. Having to find someone to trade with can get annoying, and I guess that's what the subreddit's for. But that was too complicated for me. It's also what Discord's for, which I did end up using, so. Wonder Trade could be used for really fun things, such as just, like, those streams you see. If these were taken out because of Gen 1 problems, hopefully they're brought back in Gen 8. If they're not, because of the whole hacked Pokemon trading thing, I'm gonna be really upset. That's just... disregard that. You just take out so many features by completely ruining the online system to these small things. And yeah, I just want the GTS and Wonder Trade back. If they keep the crappy code thing for Link battles, I guess... You did not just switch it. Okay, it wasn't a flying type. You just have a full team of hack shinies. Da, 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 da. Anyway, back to the thing at hand. So yes, if... So, if they want to keep the whole code system, I did not actually expect the Golduck to move first. Whenever I lived. Are you kidding me? Never mind. So, yes. If they do keep the code system, I guess not giving the battle spot back wouldn't be that bad, because it's like just keep typing Pikachu, 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 and everything will be fine. Do I die from this? No, I don't. So that's the first thing I want in Gen 8. The second thing I want in Gen 8 is new Megas. And I know that they actually have a title, I just prefer calling them Gen 8. So yes. The reason I want new Megas is because, well, Pokemon don't have the opportunity. Some Pokemon don't have the opportunity to have a Mega Evolution. Mega Evolution can truly help some Pokemon that are in a rut in terms of competitive battle, and help them get known, obviously. And Mega Evolution was in this game, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did bring new Megas for Gen 8. Gen 7, I don't think they added any Megas because they were so focused on Z-moves. And if that is the truth and they plan on bringing back new Megas, please do it. I don't know this guy's team, so I'm just gonna still go for his Hydro Pump. Trying Lapidash, okay. I just said Lapidash. Oh my god. So yes, some ideas I have might be posted in a video I make. Just videos about the new Mega Evolutions that I want in Pokemon. That's not gonna kill. So, some examples include the most obvious one being Flygon. Everyone wants Mega Flygon, let's be honest. It's like, come on, guys. They had an idea for it. Well, they wanted, but they didn't have an idea for it. So, hopefully Mega Flygon will be introduced. That's gonna wrap up this one because it's shorter and I don't have enough. I don't really have as much to say. Number 3, we have alternate trade evolution methods. This one, out of all 10 of these, might be the least likely to happen. What I'm talking about here is, I just want an alternate way to evolve trade evolutions. Completing the Pokedex is such a hassle when you actually need to find someone to trade with, and I think that was a cheap gimmick, honestly, along with version exclusives, just to get people to buy both games if they need to. I really think it was a cheap gimmick, and I don't like it. The main problem with trade evolutions is you need to find someone to trade with, which wasn't a problem before. When you had the GTS, you could just deposit the Pokemon, ask for its evolved form if it was one of the item ones, or if it was one of the not item ones, how creative. You just ask for the same Pokemon, and you trade, and then you get the evolved form. But with the GTS gone, if it's gone in the newer games, I want an alternate way to evolve my trade Pokemon so I don't have to go out of my way to find someone when I need this specific Pokemon that I want because I need to complete my Pokedex. So, I can't provide the best of examples, but I can provide a few. I don't know why I use Dark Pulse. Maybe I wanted a flinch. So for example, you could put Strength in Machoke's level up move pool, and then like it evolves when it learns strength or something. Now, I don't know, some people may actually want them to be more tedious because it's like, okay, you either go out of your way to find someone to trade with, or you do this extremely tedious method and don't trade. But if you really want... But if you really do not want to evolve your Pokemon, you should be willing to do anything for it. And I will accept that if that's what they choose to do. I just want an alternate way to evolve my Trade Evolution Pokemon. That's all I'm asking for. That doesn't involve Wi-Fi. If you troll me and put Wi-Fi into this, no, do not do that. Number 4, I know this is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but I don't want a national dex in the new games. I just think it makes it too hard to complete the Pokedex. If they do include a national dex, don't make the national dex the way to get the shiny charm. Make the regional dex the way to get the shiny charm. Because honestly, I think that will, with 802 plus whatever they introduce in Gen 8 Pokemon, that's going to be way too tedious to try and get all 802 plus Pokemon. I don't think anyone wants to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Don't include a national dex in the new games, and if you do, do not make it the way to get the shiny charm. If you make it the way to get the shiny charm, I'll actually be really pissed. I mean, I'm not going to be shiny hunting in the new games, but I know other people will and will be affected by it. So, yeah, that's number 4. Number 5, I want a good story and post-game. This is probably a given, but Let's Go has kind of crappy both story and post-game. Granted, Generation 1 also had crappy story and post-game, and this is a remake of it, but they could have thrown in the Sevi Islands. You didn't have to make it a blatant copy of Yellow with some tweaks. Please burn. So, yes, I honestly think that I want a good story and good post-game. If I do not have that, I will be, at the very least, annoyed. Because, come on. I need something to do at the game. And some people may say, what about the Master Trainers? That is a lame excuse. No, I do not know what... That is tedious, okay? To say, I should grind a bunch of Pokemon all the way up to level 100, or catch so many of them that I get 200 candies just to defeat one trainer is ridiculous. That is preposterous. No, that is a terrible argument. Oh, you're faster. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god, I'm scared. Well, it's fun while it lasted. So yes, that is a preposterous argument. I want some good, story-driven, something like that. Just good post-game. Like Black and White 2, for example. Black and White 2 had many things to do to suit so many people. It was beautiful. The Battle Frontier, another great example. Do not give us Let's Go's post-game. That would be annoying. And certainly don't give us XY's post-game. You know why? Because that doesn't exist. I don't want to know post-game. I'm Pikachu's dead. Oh no, he lived. Okay. I get poisoned though. I can honestly tell this is my gameplay team. And for story, I want a good story. When I play games, I love stories. I'm gonna, again, use Black and White as an example. Black and White had a great story, and I was intrigued every second of the way. Alright. I want a good story and good post-game. You did it in Gen 7, you gave us good post-game in Black and White 2, and Gen Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon had some decent post-game. So, I know you can do it. Just make it happen, Game Freak. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. Number 6, we have version equality. Now this one, I don't know if you're going to understand it, but I want both versions to be equal. air slash on that thing? What is wrong with you? Come on! Well, obviously we're gonna lose this one, so... Got it stuck on now. So yes, the versions in this game were very unequal, if that's a word. Not bad for my first battle out of competitive team. So yes, in my eyes, I want the versions to be equal. For those of you who don't know, the games are not at all balanced in terms of what version gets which. The reason I say this is very simple. Just look at the games. Outfits. Even competitive, EV players have an advantage. And it sucks knowing that. It really does. To think that Pikachu players are screwed over just because they thought they wanted to get Pikachu. And it sucks. It really does suck. So what do I mean by the fact that they get screwed over? Well, basically, they don't get as much stuff as the Eevee players do. If you look at Let's Go Pikachu, they just... because Eevee has more evolutions, it essentially gets more content. Here's an example. Eevee gets one move from each of its 8 types, so most of which I don't know the names of. I only know Bouncy Bubble, Glitzy Glow, Batty Bad, and Buzzy Buzz, as well as, I think it's called Sappy Sap. I don't know if it's called Sappy Sap. But I didn't play Eevee, so I don't really know. And those Fiery Fall, maybe that was the fire one? I don't remember. Pikachu only gets 3 moves. Zappy Zap, Zippy Zap, sorry, Floaty Fall, and Splishy Splash. In fact, you saw me use Floaty Fall earlier. Those are supposed to represent... Zippy Zap, I don't know what that's supposed to represent. But Floaty Fall and Splishy Splash are obviously supposed to represent Fly and Surf, since they have the same exact power and accuracy as the 2 moves. So it just sucks that Pikachu players don't get as many moves, because the Eevee players get so much better effects too. It's not like their moves are worse. Sippy Sap, Sappy Sap, I don't know what it's called, I told you. Literally sets up Leech Seed. Bouncy Bubble works as effectively works as a Giga Drain. And Batty Bad sets up a Reflect. That move is overpowered. So, another advantage that Eevee players get over Pikachu is a bit less important, but Eevee players do get more outfits. They get 1 outfit for each of the evolutions, while us Pikachu players are stuck with Raichu. And you could make some more Pikachu exclusive ones, like, you could make one for each of the Pika clones. Clearly there was no version equality, as stated that I want. I want both versions to be equal. I don't want one to have an obvious advantage over the other. Eevee could be considered the better starter because of its moves. Sure, Pikachu's better stats, but Eevee has more viability in terms of diversity. It's easier for anyone to play with Eevee, considering it covers 8 types for moves. This thing is a green circle. One version clearly has the advantage over the other. that being said, again, I want the versions to be equal so that if I get sword, I don't feel screwed over because shield is better, or if I get shield, I don't feel screwed over because sword is better. There we go. That's number 5, and that's number 6. Number 7 is something I know all Pokemon fans, or at least long-term ones, or ones that have played all the games, want. Difficulty. Make the games hard. Please. I'm tired of these easy games holding your hands, over-leveling you. And don't say you are the same level as the Elite Four, because it doesn't change the fact that you're extremely overpowered. Your Pikachu or Eevee still has max IVs. I played the game with minimal IV Pokemon, and I never once had a rough time playing through the game. I didn't grind once, other than catching 50 Pokemon for the Charmander, but I don't know if that counts. And I never experienced anything hard. I never felt like the game was too hard and I had to grind. It's been this way, okay, not since XY, because I probably picked out a terrible team for Sun and Moon, and that's why it was hard for me there. But I'm glad that I picked out a terrible team and chose not to evolve one of my team members, because it gave me a challenge. I wanted that challenge. Oras, easy as hell. XY, that's a joke. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I created my own team and I did well, and I'm really bad at creating teams. Ever since X and Y, these games have been a joke, partially because of the new EXP share. The new EXP share makes it so that all members in your team get the EXP instead of just the Pokemon holding it. It was like this in Gen 1 called the EXP All, but it distributed it so you wouldn't get as much experience. That's the only. So it's just hard now. It was harder in the easier games. In these games, it's just no longer hard. I want the next games to be difficult. Wait, you can find your teenie here? No, it's a horsey. I want the next games to be difficult. I want them to give me a challenge. I want to feel like I need to grind somewhere. Or just keep us at the same level. Black and White did that really well. I know I'm bringing that up a lot in this video. But Black and White really nailed the difficulty. You were never too overleveled. You're only about 5 levels behind. But the reason why it was hard is because the Pokemon you went up against were genuinely good. Here's an example. The final battle of Black and White. You went up against a legendary. No one would have expected that, really, for them to give any of the NPCs a legendary, but they did it anyway, and it made it truly hard. And it wasn't like, oh, this is too overpowered hard, because they give you a legendary to fight that legendary. And for me, that was a great experience, to be able to fight Reshiram with my Zekrom. And I never saw it coming, honestly. I did not think they were going to give an NPC a legendary. And I loved that they did it. So, you don't have to make them over-leveled, you just have to make the Pokemon hard to fight. I'm not saying include a legendary again. It's sort of a one-time thing, if you ask me. But make the games hard. Make it so that, yeah, they're difficult. I feel challenged. And don't come up with their new Pokemon players excuse, because I know that anyone who was introduced before XY faced a difficult challenge. And to say that those people don't matter and the new people coming in now do, and that's why we're making this easy, is a terrible, awful excuse. Number 8, this is another sort of subtle one, and I don't really see this happening, but I want the TM numbers to return to normal. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, the TM numbers have been changed in this game. I complained about it when playing through the game, and I'm going to complain about it now. So, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, the TM numbers were drastically changed. Here's an example. Dig is normally TM 28, but now it's TM 10. Substitute is normally TM90, now it's TM8. Rest is normally somewhere in the 40s, now it's 5. Rock Slide is now 22 instead of 80. Dark Pulse is now 20 instead of 97. Brick Break is now 13. I don't know what it was originally. Scald is now 29 instead of 55. I don't know why they changed these. What was their reason? You could say it's because their max is 60 now, but... Okay, then only change the ones you need to. You didn't have to change Ice Beam. Or Sludge Bomb. Or Blizzard. Or Solar Beam. Or Shadow Ball. Or Earthquake. There are tons of these you could have just left the way they were and replaced the other ones with new ones. Why did you have to change the numbers of almost all of these? I don't even know if a single one went untouched in terms of what number it is. And it really gets annoying when you're trying to do a Google search of where to find a specific TM, and it's not the same number, so then you look up what it is on Bulbapedia, but they haven't updated it yet. And then you have to look up what the new number is. It's tedious. It was pointless to change the numbers in the first place. Just return them back to the way they were originally. That's all I want. Number 9, first Dark-type gym. In the trailer, we did see that there were probably going to be gyms. And if there are, I want there to be a Dark-type gym. We've gone 6 generations without a Dark-type gym. No, Nanu does not count. He is not technically a gym. It's safe to say we're going back to gyms. With this game, I think it's really safe to say that. Alola, they went and did something different. I don't think they want to go back to that. It's just, that's Alola's thing. Let Alola be Alola. We're returning to Generation 8 in the Galar region, near France. So, yes, I think that we should have this Dark-type gym, because it's like, we've never had it before, why not? Some people have tried to make theories of why there are no Dark-type gyms. Honestly, I don't think they hold. They don't. So, yeah, I personally don't think they hold. Some people may think they hold. I don't. I just want a Dark-type gym. I'm probably going to make a video about that. Like, what would I have if I were a Dark-type, if I had a Dark-type gym? So, yeah. I just like the Dark-type in general. I think it kind of represents me, because I am sort of a dark person, in a way. Oh my god, stop jumping. And I just like the dark typing. So I want a dark type gym. That's all. Number 10. This one, again, doesn't affect me too much, but there are people I watch who I know it affects. Add a soft reset button in Generation 8. Oh my god. Nobody wants to hard reset. Since there's no actual soft reset button like there was in the past games where you press LR and start, you have to press home. Then you have to close the thing. Then you have to say it will close, boot it up again, have to deal with the stupid which controller are you doing, which means you have to activate your Joy-Con if you're playing in docked mode, or if you're playing the way I am. If you're playing in handheld mode, you don't need to do it, but if you're playing in docked mode like YouTube and Twitch streamers do, guess what you have to do. And it sucks having to go through that entire cutscene, because you're not even done. You have to wait for the whole star thing, and then after the stars, then you can go into your game. It's tedious. No one wants to do that. Doing that many resets when you're trying to hunt for a shiny Pokemon is tedious. And let me just tell you all of the buttons that are not used in Let's Go that could potentially be used for this. L, R. If you use either L or R, you simply just interact with your Pokemon. Here's an example. These videos are over 30 minutes, so I should probably leave it. ZL, ZR. Y, when you're not in the menu, is not used. The D-pad, the right joystick, and both the plus and minus buttons. All of these are not used. Why are they not used? Seriously. Here's an easy thing you could do. L, R, and then either plus or minus. You could even just program it so that's both. And when you're playing in single Joy-Con mode, you could just do plus L, R, and ZR, or minus L and ZL. It's very simple, and it's a thing you could probably program in very quickly, and it would save shiny hunters a ton of time. The ones that I watch, and I gain satisfaction when they get the shiny. So those are 10 things I want in the Galar region. I honestly just think that these would help the game. Some of these are less probable than others. I'll also be saying 10 things I don't want. I'll be releasing that video as well. So, for now, bye.